Sirach chapter 18 verse 22. Let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow in due time, and defer not unto death to be justified. Alright, Shalom. I'd like to begin by giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles who rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and blessing to the brothers that push this video in this truth and sincerity and in truth. This word in sincerity and in truth. You know, they brother Howard from the GMS Trinidad camp, here to do a quick edification. Only through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Right? And these edifications are for the Negroes, the Latinos, and the native who make up the house of Israel, the Lord's chosen people. Right? And as the scripture saying in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 18 and 22, it says, let nothing hinder thee to pay thy vow. You know, and I would just want to look up the word vow. You know, look up the word vow. In the blue letter to show how the importance of a vow. Alright, it says vow, votive offering. I must see something before I go on. Right, it says a promise. When you go down in the Strongs, it says a promise to God, also consecrately a thing promised, vowed. Right, nada in the Hebrew, it says to vow, make a vow, to vow a vow. Right, so the main thing is a promise, positively to do or give something to God. Right, and the scripture says the Lord, the Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, change it not. You know, and also said the Lord made us in His image and His likeness. Right, so when you come to serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you're not like an average man. Right, because the scripture says we are gods. You know, but you should die like men. So the same way the Lord don't change His mind from promising the nation of Israel something. When you make a promise unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it's a promise you have to keep. You know. So we'll go into our next scripture here to show you. You know what I mean? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5. And I'll start from 1. But I will get to the point. Start from 2. It says, I'll start from 1. Ecclesiastes 5 and 1. It says, keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. For they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with thy mouth, and let not thy heart be hasty to utter anything before God. For Yahweh is in heaven, and thou upon earth. Therefore let thy words be few. It says, therefore let thy words be few. When thou vowest a vow unto Yahweh, defer not to pay it, for He had no pleasure in fools. Pay that which thou hast vowed. Right? It says, better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. So the scripture says, better for it not to make the vow. You know what I mean? Because a vow is a promise unto the Heavenly Father. And it's not like man that you will say a promise is a comfort to a fool. The Lord ain't no fool. So you had to make your vow and keep that vow, right? Hey, and the Lord might not give you swift destruction or swift, not destruction, but swift judgment. But the Lord will judge you. So it's better to just not make that promise until you have a Bashim Yashai. You know? Because the Lord will. Word above his name. Word above his name. So that. The Lord put his word above his name. So it is Psalms 138 and verse 2. It says, I will worship towards thy holy temple and praise thy name for thy loving kindness and for thy truth, for thou hast magnified thy word above thy name. Right? So your word is how did I say? Your word is your bond. Your word is really all you have. That's speech. That word represents your truth. And the Lord, the Heavenly Father speak about lies. Say lie not one to another. He also say there's a it says divide not a lie against thy brother, neither do the like to thy friend. Use no not to make any manner of lies, for the custom thereof is not good. So that it come like a lying unto the Heavenly Father. It's a good thing to make a vow, and it's also a good thing to keep the vow. This is the book of read the book of Judges. How she see as a vow is Judges Judges 11. And I will start from I will start from 29. Judges 11:29. It says, then the Spirit of Yahweh came upon Jephthah, and he passed over Gilead and Manasseh, and passed over Mizpah and Gilead, and from Mizpah of Gilead he passed over unto the children of Ammon. And Jephthah vowed a vow unto Yahweh and said, if thou shalt with all field deliver the children of Ammon unto mine hands, then it shall be that whosoever cometh forth of the doors of my house to meet me when I return in peace from the children of Ammon shall surely be the Lord's, and I will offer it up for burnt offering. And Jephthah passed over unto the children of Ammon to fight against them, and the Lord delivered them into his hands. And he smote them from Aroer, even till thou come to Meneth, Meneth, even 20 cities, and unto the plains of the vineyard, with a very great slaughter. Thus the children of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. And Jephthah came to Mizpah to his house, and behold, his daughter came out to meet him with timbrels and with dancing, and she was his only child. Besides, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass, when he saw her, and he rent his clothes and said, Alas, my daughter, thou hast brought me very low, and thou art one of them that troubled me. For I have opened my mouth unto Yahweh, and I cannot go back. You see, he have opened his mouth unto Yahweh, and he cannot go back. Why? Because they understood the power of a vow, of a promise. Right? They understand the power of a promise, of a vow. I say promise, yes? I want to look up something real quick. I say, how many treaties did America broken with the native tribes? Right? And it says, concluding during the nearly 100-year period from the Revolutionary War to the aftermath of the Civil War, some 368 treaties would define the relationship between the U.S. state and the native states. How many treaties have the U.S. broken with the native? Right, it says here now, it says from 1778 to 1871, the United States government entered into more than 500 treaties with the Native American tribe. All of these treaties have since been violated in some way or outright broken by the government. Native American and First Nation people are still fighting for their treaty rights in federal court. You see, that's why the nation I used to go. Alright, so God is not like man. You know, God is not like man. What I was reading? Yeah, so America broken 500 treaties with the native. It's not like, you know, they made a promise. Or an oath, or whatever the case might be, and they broken it. Right? It goes on to say in the book of Judges 11 and verse verse 35. In verse 36 it says, and she said unto my father, if thou hast opened thy mouth unto Yahweh, do to me according to that which thou hast proceeded out of thy mouth. For as much as Yahweh hath taken vengeance for thee of thine enemies, even of the children of Ammon. And she said unto her, Father, let this thing be done for me. Let me alone 2 months, that I may go up and down upon the mountains and bewail my virginity. You know. I and my fellows. And he said, go. And he sent her away for 2 months. And she went with her companions and bewailed her virginity upon the mountain. And it came to pass at the end of 2 months that she returned unto her father, and did with her according to his vow, which he had vowed, and she knew no man. You understand? So and it was a custom in Israel that the daughters of Israel went yearly to lament the daughter of Jephthah the Gileadite 4 days in the year. You see, so the power of a vow, a vow unto the Heavenly Father is serious, and this is something you had to keep. You know, as just don't make a vow unto the Lord. Is in the numbers chapter 30, right? Yeah, Numbers 30 and 1. It says, and I'll read from read the whole verse because it's short. The whole chapter. It says, and Moses spake unto the heads of the tribe concerning the children of Israel, saying, this is the thing which Yahweh had commanded. If a man vow unto Yahweh, or swear an oath to bind his soul with a bond, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeded out of his mouth. If a woman also vow unto Yahweh, and bind herself by a bond, being in her father's house in a youth, and her father hear the vow, and her bond wherewith she had bound her soul, and her father shall hold his peace at her, then all her vows shall stand, and every bond wherewith she had bound her soul shall stand. But if her father disannul, look up the word disannul. Look up the word disannul. Look up the word disannul. To hinder, hold back, forbid. Disannul, restraint, to restrain the power of a man, and the power the Lord gave man over his household and everyone in his household, and restrain the power the man have over his wife. It says to disannul, restrain, frustrate, right? To hinder, hold back, to refuse, forbid, dissuade, or neutralize, break, disannul, discourage, make of one effect, select. Right? It goes on, it says, verse 6, it says, and if she had at all an husband, when she vowed or uttered oath out of her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, and her husband heard it, and held his peace at her in the day that he heard it, then a vow shall stand, and a bonds wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if the husband disannul her on the day that he heard it, then she shall make a vow which she vowed, and that which she uttered with her lips, wherewith she bound her soul, of none effect, and Yahweh shall forgive her. But every vow of a widow and of her that is this divorce, wherewith they have bound their soul, shall stand against her. And if she vow in her husband's house a bond, her soul by a bond with an oath, and her husband hear it, and and held his peace at her, and disannul her not, then her vow shall stand, and every bond wherewith she bound her soul shall stand. But if the husband had utterly made them vow on the day he heard them, then whosoever proceeded out of his lips, whatsoever proceeded out of her lips concerning her vows, or concerning the bond on her soul, shall not stand. Her husband had made them vow, and the Lord shall forgive her. Every vow and every binding oath to afflict the soul of her husband may establish it, or her husband may make it revoke. But if the husband altogether hold his peace at her from day to day, then he established all her vows, or all her bonds which are upon her. He confirmed them, because he held his peace at her in the day that he had heard them. But if he shall anyways make them void after that he had heard them, then he shall bear iniquity. So in a nutshell, a vow, you make a vow unto the Lord and your husband hear it, or any kind of vow. Your husband could disannul the vow, because your husband is your king. He head over you. But the thing about it is, once you make a vow, it's a vow you have to keep. It's a promise that you have to keep unto the Heavenly Father. This is the seriousness of a vow. So hopefully this video is edifying. I want to say shalom to the elect. All praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahshua Bashem, Makakodas. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.